morning everyone. I am Pragati Karan, Assistant Professor at RKGIT. Today we are going to discuss Introduction to Communication System. So first of all, what is communication? Communication is the process of transmitting information from a sender to a receiver through a medium. Here in this case, I am the transmitter or I am the sender who is sending information, and the person who is receiving it will be the receiver. Okay, so in the basic communication system, we need a transmitter, a receiver and a channel in between. So why do we need communication system? If we talk about short distance communication, then we don't need any extra requirement. We simply need a transmitter, someone who is generating information, a medium in between, and then a receiver. But for long distance communication, sound signal will get lost after some time. So in this case, we need a communication system that will carry the information to the longer distances, right? Fast and reliable information transfer, that means the information that we are sending must not lose and it must receive to the receiver. That's why we need a fast and reliable information transfer. We also need the information to transfer through mobile, TV, radio and internet. That's why we need a communication system. Basic elements of communication system, as discussed, we need an information source, someone that will generate the information, transmitter that will be used to transmit that information, channel, a medium through which the information will be transferred, receiver, the one who will receive that information, and destination, the final destination where the information has to be reached. So this is the basic block diagram of a communication system in which information source is there. Information can be anything. It can be a video, it can be a audio, or it can be any data. It can be the temperature, it can be light, pressure, or any kind of data that we want to transfer. Then comes the transmitter. Okay, so the transmitter, what transmitter will do? Transmitter will transmit that data to the channel, but before transmitting, it will modulate the data. The process of modulation will be there in the transmitter part, right? Then the data, modulated data, will be transferred through the channel, and after that it will be received at the receiver end. At the receiver, the process of demodulation will take place, and finally at the destination we will get our actual data. In the channel, the noise can also be added. So channel can be of two types. It can be either wired or wireless channel. Wired can be optical fiber cable, twisted pair cable or coaxial cable, and in wireless, air is the medium or air is the channel. Okay, next, modulation. As discussed, the transmitter, in the transmitter section there will be modulation. So what is modulation? To transmit our message signal to a longer distance, we need some carrier to transmit that data. Simply the message signal will ride over the carrier to be transmitted for a longer distances. Like we can't go somewhere at a longer distance by walking, we need to ride on any vehicle. Simply in modulation process, the message signal has to be ride over some carrier. So in modulation, what we do, we it changes the characteristics of our high frequency carrier wave. We have a high frequency carrier wave, and the message signal has to be ride or has to be superimposed on that carrier wave. Now carrier wave has some characteristics. It has amplitude, it has frequency, and it has phase. So any of the characteristics of carrier wave will have to be changed as per our requirement or as per the instantaneous value of the message signal. That is known as modulation. Okay, now why do we need modulation? First is reduces antenna height. If we are not using the modulation technique, we are simply sending our message signal, then our message signal, which is a very low frequency message signal, will have to be sent through communication. But as we know, practically antenna height is lambda by 4. Fine, lambda is the wavelength. If we will send a low frequency signal, message signal or a baseband signal, then what happens, the antenna height will be very will be too much, right? If we talk about, let's say for example, if we are considering a message signal which is a low frequency signal of 15 kilohertz, if we want to send that signal directly without using modulation techniques, then what happens, the antenna height, which is practically has to be lambda by 4, will come approximately 5000 kilometers, 5000 meter, that is will come 5 kilometer. That is practically not possible. And if we are using modulation technique and we are using a high frequency carrier wave, for example 1 megahertz carrier wave, so in that case the antenna height will be 75 meter, which is practically possible. So need for modulation to reduce antenna height, practically antenna height is possible if we use the modulation technique. Second is avoiding mixing of signals. See, in modulation what we do, we allot different frequency bands or different frequency spectrum to different signals. It is like we are using a single highway and we have allotted different lanes for different signals. So in that case the mixing of signals is avoided. If we will send all the signals on the same frequency, the information will get mixed up. Okay, simply when AM or FM radio stations are sending signal, if they will send signal on same frequency, then it will not be possible for us to tune the channel. So if different frequency bands are allotted to different signals, then we can tune in to our favorite channel which we want to listen. Increases transmission range. Definitely using modulation technique, transmission range is increased. As I told earlier that if we will not use modulation techniques, our signal after a certain distance will get lost. But if we want our signal to go for a longer distance, we need a carrier so that our signal can ride on that carrier. Improved signal quantity, reducing noise and increasing signal to noise ratio can improve the quality of signal that we can achieve using modulation. Okay, so as I told you, reduction in antenna height. To transmit a signal effectively, the antenna height should be approximately 1/4 of the lambda, which is wavelength. For a 15 kilohertz signal, we need an antenna that is roughly 5 kilometer tall, which is practically not possible. So by modulating that high frequency carrier, for example 1 megahertz, the antenna height drops to just few meters. Multiplexing means avoiding signal overlap, right? Without modulation, all the radio stations will broadcast the audio frequencies on a same audio frequency, and that will interfere each other. By using modulation, what we are doing, we are shifting signals to different frequency slots. As I told that we will give different lanes to different signals to travel. So in that case we can tune our tune to whichsoever channel we want to hear. Increase range of communication. Low frequency signals are highly attenuated and cannot travel long distances. It is because at low frequency there is the chance to get noise, to get more prone to noise. But at high frequency, the carrier waves travel at a higher and a quieter lane where mixing with noise is not that much. So for high frequency carrier waves, they can travel further through the atmosphere without getting mixed with the noises. To improve the quality of reception, we can increase the signal to noise ratio. That means the quality of signal will increase and the noise will be reduced. Okay, so that can be possible or that can be achieved through modulation. Examples of communication system are mobile communication, satellite communication, radio broadcasting and television. All these are the examples of communication system. Advantages: fast communication, global connectivity and easy information sharing. Fast communication means someone is recording a video at a certain place, you can watch that video, you can watch that information into another country if you want to, like on YouTube channels it is very easy, right? Live, you can see live telecasting also. So communication is really fast. Global connectivity, as one is on the other side of the globe, the person on the other side of the globe can easily connected through communication system. Easy information sharing, information can be easily shared through communication system. So conclusion: modulation is the bridge that allows us to send data across the world wirelessly, right? With using modulation techniques, without using any wires, we can easily transmit the data from one place to another. Then communication system and modulation together enable efficient long distance communication. Thank you.